dianjurkan oleh Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita di bawah kementerian kita, dan kita nak pastikan pembaharuan yang telah kita lakukan banyak melibatkan komuniti, keluarga, kanak-kanak, wanita, dan kita kena engage ahli majlis wanita supaya mereka boleh turunkan isu ini ataupun memperjuangkan isu-isu seperti ini di peringkat PBT juga dan di kawasan masing-masing. Jadi seperti yang anda lihat tadi, kita telah tunjukkan video pembaharuan dan kita telah bagi mereka hala tuju kementerian keluarga, kanak-kanak, warga emas. What is the trend, supaya program yang mereka lakukan juga, kalau adalah program komuniti, boleh bersama dengan kerajaan persekutuan dan mereka juga kenal agensi kita. Itu sahaja program hari ini. Tujuan hari ini, dia sekarang dia ada taklimat gender, dia ada taklimat daripada Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, kemudian dia ada taklimat daripada Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita dan juga LPPKN. So semua bersamalah, 3 lapisan, Persekutuan Negeri dan PBT, penggerak kita, wanita kita boleh membantu mewawakan program polisi kita yang baru. So next stage is kita nak engage juga penghulu, ketua kampung wanita. Like isu keganasan rumah tangga, dia tak cukup reporting kerana orang tak tahu apa nak buat. So bila kita engage ketua komuniti di situ, mereka akan tahu, if this is the hotspot, kita boleh lakukan program, dan agensi mana yang kita boleh hubungi, dia boleh hubungi agensi LPPKN, JKM, JPW. Ada soalan?
Sorry, you said ketua kampung wanita. Is there any data on that?
The data is not with us. JPW is coordinating this. Engaging all the other state government, because ketua kampung is appointed by state. So we will engage them. So today is very good attendance. All the states, you can see, even though we have negeri pembangkang like Kelantan, Terengganu, the ahli majlis still, because when we come to issues about this ministry, right, you cannot look at political differences, because what affects children will affect a PAS supporter, a DAP supporter family is the same. So we want to reach out. Even with Kerajaan Negeri, you can see that I'm actually very happy with the attendance today, that they all came to see how we can all work together to, protect the family unit. So we will engage penghulu dengan ketua kampung.
Just in your speech, you mentioned that there are 100,000 child
Aisuri, yes.
And you say that the ministry face some problem and trying to resolve it. What kind of obstruction?
The first problem that we face with Aisuri is we have to depend on the e-KASI database. For them to be on the e-KASI database, there is the screening that has to be done by the ICU unit in EFO. So they have a lot of people wanting to be on the e-KASI list, so they need time to go and verify the cases one by one. So there is backlog there, and that they are working their best to try to clear. The other thing that we want to do is, the spirit behind Aisuri is to encourage the husband to have savings for the wife, the housewives especially. So with this program, we already have the woman now voluntarily putting in RM5 a month. But we do want at some point to look into legislation to facilitate this, which means, we want to take from the husband's EPF, 2% to put into the housewives' EPF, because we do want housewives to have some savings. Some of the housewives work for 20-30 years, and then they are suddenly dumped by their husband. Right? And they have no savings on their own, because all these years, the labor at home, the labor at work counts for the economy of this nation. So there must be a record of their contribution. There must be a monetary value placed, no matter how nominal. We must recognize that, and it starts with this.
Yeah, of this 100,000, how many come from?
I can get the. I don't have the data now. I don't have that, because now it's still voluntary, because we don't have the legislation. So they have to go and give the money. So I don't have the data. So we are still looking into the legislation component for Aisuri.
I'm not sure if you actually said this in your speech, but in the text that was given to us, there was a mention of the module program we need to consider reproductive and social priority. I'm just wondering if you can comment on how the can actually help with underage child marriage.
The sex education program that the LPPKN has implemented recently, introduced, is to focus on sexual reproduction health for boys. So the talks involved, the talks that we give to schoolboys, okay, involve telling them about the law. Many of the boys do not know and don't understand statutory rape. Okay, so if you don't teach the boys the right things, they will not know. And so this program is designed for them. But we have only started doing a taklimat for all the ahli parliament in parliament recently, and we told them, okay, ini adalah program baru, please contact LPPKN untuk buat. But the program is at the moment is not in every school. There are certain schools that LPPKN work with, but moving forward, we do want the sex education in school to have this component. That means we don't just teach the girls look after yourself, we must teach the boys to respect girls. So you want to change the culture, right? You got to start when they are really young. And so that's why this is a special program that LPPKN has designed to educate boys. And so there are questions that boys are too embarrassed to ask. Okay, and so now what we have found for sex education is there is a mismatch in where when we did, I think MOE, I can't remember who did the research, but when they asked the parents who you think should do sex education talks, the parents say teachers. When you ask the teachers say, no, parents should be the one doing the talk. Okay, so now you are racing against time because the pendedahan awareness to sex is coming through social media and gadgets. Okay, which means they don't even need to listen to a teacher or parents anymore. They can Google and they can find the information. So we need to catch up and we need to equip our young people with the right information. And this is where we have products like LPPKN has an app. Okay, they have an app. Okay, My Cafe team. You can check out the app where they can ask questions at this forum and they can ask questions to even health practitioner. So we have doctors who will answer them specific questions related to sex. Okay, so I know many people don't want to talk about it, but we need to start thinking what is the best way to equip our young people with right information so that they do not make mistakes. Yeah.
What topic, just now I heard your speech that I want to ask this, why does it need to put underage male committed in the offense into the
It's not underage. Okay, so we have a daftar kanak-kanak. Daftar kanak-kanak has always been there under Akta Kanak-Kanak. So Akta Kanak-Kanak says we must keep a registry. Okay, the children who have been rescued, yang memerlukan perlindungan, their names have to be listed there. Okay, but this daftar kanak-kanak was not very utilized. When we came in, we started looking into how we can strengthen this daftar kanak-kanak. And so we then looked at Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017 because that's a new act. So we have to start off with one act. Okay, so we use that act and we work with the courts to share that information with us. Every person who's convicted, okay, the name is listed in our daftar kanak-kanak, and so our Timbalan Perdana Menteri has already launched that. I don't have the data for this specific question with me now, but we can give it to you. So we have the applications that have come in from all the states. At the moment, it's not compulsory, so it's free of charge. You go and check if you want to. It's just a tool that we give. It's not foolproof simply because a lot of sexual offenders are first-time offenders, which means even though their names are cleared, we tell parents you still have to be very cautious because whoever you surrender your kids to, you better make sure, you know, even family members. Violations are coming from family members. Yeah.
Could I get some clarification on that? Does it actually include foreigners? Because as often see this.
No, it does not. For now, it does not include foreigners because our punca kuasa at the moment. That's why I say this is not foolproof, but we are starting somewhere. Okay, we have to start with an act where they have convicted names, and that's why for our partnership with the court, it is Sexual Offences Against Children Act. Okay, so moving forward, what we want is a working with children check that is comprehensive. It may not come from our ministry, but at least maybe part with the Home Ministry, for example, where you have good conduct checks, you know, for any jobs that you want, right? You can go and have that facility. We want to have that. We want to make sure that we have a safeguard and a safety net that we give to children in Malaysia. Children in Malaysia, their welfare, the protection system has been so, I wouldn't say neglected, but just not emphasized enough. Yeah. So now we are moving towards that because that's our 30% future asset. Yeah. Ya.
Setakat ini menerusi inisiatif-inisiatif baru yang dikenalkan
Yes.
oleh Kementerian, setakat mana ia membantu dalam meningkatkan kelancaran penyertaan tenaga buruh wanita?
Okey, tenaga buruh wanita sekarang ini kita nak move dia lah. Tapi semua data yang kita telah buat kajian, yang mereka telah datang present, World Bank telah datang present kepada kita, Khazanah juga, semuanya mengatakan untuk penyertaan wanita dalam tenaga kerja, anda mesti beri childcare, okey, penjagaan kanak-kanak di tempat kerja. Itu sebab prioriti kita sekarang adalah wujudkan di agensi kerajaan dulu. Jadi 10 juta tahun ini, tahun depan 30 juta. This is a big jump forward for us lah. So sekarang kita sedang kita ada jawatan kuasa di kementerian kita, di mana kita akan tengok permohonan yang datang daripada agensi tersebut. Fokus kita masih hospital, dan tahun depan kita nak tengok kuartus guru juga. Okay, tetapi request, kita faham request dekat luar adalah mereka minta supaya kita bagi taska di tempat kerja ini untuk golongan B40 di macam PPR flat semualah. Okay, so that's something that we want to look into, tetapi we are now focusing on agensi kerajaan persekutuan dulu, taska di tempat kerja. Okay. Untuk frontliners seperti jururawat, pihak polis, mereka ada shift, kerja shift. So bila dia ada kerja shift, taska dekat luar tutup pukul 5, pukul 6. Dia nak hantar kepada siapa? So itu sebab kita bagi priority wujudkan taska di tempat kerja, di balai dan di hospital untuk mereka lah.
Okay, statistik ada besar kata 26.9% pemegang saham, pengarah syarikat besar 100 saham terbesar di Malaysia adalah wanita. Jadi macam mana usaha kementerian sendiri untuk memastikan angka ini meningkat kepada 30%?
Okay. Untuk semua ini, you have to make sure you have the supporting infrastructure, okay, supporting infrastructure dan juga peluang diberikan kepada mereka. And so it's a chicken and egg lah. Every time we talk about quota for wanita, it's a chicken and egg. You have to start somewhere. So itu sebab kita nak provide the first, the training for the first. So macam sekarang ini kita buat penglibatan politik dulu. Kalau anda nak 30% ahli parlimen, you have to look at ADUN. For ADUN, you have to look at ahli majlis. So you have to start somewhere. You give them the information supaya mereka boleh efektif in doing their work. Kalau tak ada data, dia nak buat program kesedaran, dia tak tepat sasaran dia. Okay, tapi sekarang bila kita engage kumpulan penggerak dekat lokal, the grassroots leaders like them, you know, you give them the right information and the hala tuju, so that whatever they do, they get the backing of the government. Okay, our focus is keluarga, our focus is keganasan rumah tangga. The grassroots at their training level sekarang, mereka dapat info yang tepat and they can be effective in their work. Okay, the worst thing about this woman, if you don't give them leadership or direction, hala tuju kerajaan, they will be wandering on their own, you know. Okay, so untuk corporate is the same. For corporate, you really need the supporting structure, and you need, if you want younger women untuk terus bekerja, you have to talk about childcare. Itu sebab sekarang ini we have to cepatkan the penyediaan taska di tempat kerja di sektor awam dulu. Kemudian kita boleh legislate untuk sektor swasta. Ya, once you imagine kalau di sektor swasta, kalau mula kita kata okay, mesti ada setiap syarikat kalau melebihi 200 staff, contoh melebihi 200 staff, you must bagi taska di tempat kerja. Okay, then the woman in that company, dia will stay on, dia tak akan quit. So sekarang ini golongan wanita, dia akan bekerja 2 peringkat. Dia berhenti bekerja. Satu untuk jaga anak, satu lagi untuk jaga ibu bapa. We are now still talking about married women with children. There's another pool of single women who choose to be single, they don't want to get married, then they have to work and look after father and mother. Okay, that's the next cabaran yang kita ada.
Maybe taska dapat kerja sektor kerajaan tu target bila? Ada
tahun ini kita dah wujudkan 66. Sekarang masih dalam peringkat pelaksanaan. Ada yang saya telah pergi lancarkan, ada yang masih berterusan. Dan tahun depan kita akan mula selaraskan permohonan agensi kerajaan persekutuan dulu lah. Ya. So dengan 30 juta kita anggarkan 3 kali ganda lah. So 10 juta kita dapat 66. So you need about 200 next year. Ya.
last question.
Peluang pekerjaan untuk warga emas, boleh tidak?
Okey, yang itu adalah KWSP, dia tweak dia punya caruman. So kalau anda mengambil warga emas untuk bekerja 60 tahun ke atas, okey, caruman majikan akan diturunkan 6% hingga 4%. It's just a simple tweaking, but the result is fantastic. Just tweaking like that, insentif untuk majikan ambil warga emas. Okay, dan 34,000 warga emas telah pulang bekerja. Yeah. So we want to, there are actually many jobs. We are now looking into frontline service. For example, in the airport, when you go to Singapore, you see senior citizens working and all that. So that's the first impression you get of the country, and we want to create that. We want not just for warga emas, but we want OKU. Okay, OKU to be given opportunities. So we need to start highlighting success stories. The problem with us is we don't talk enough about success story. If we talk enough about success story, people have the confidence. Okay, I will hire women. Okay, I will hire warga emas. I will hire OKU because they hear the success story. So we must be in the business to promote success stories. Yeah. If you just hear about negative story, everything takut tak payah buat. Okay.
What about involvement of both the military and police?
Involvement of yang itu JPW also is going to do engagement. Datuk, you want to talk about the police and the military, wanita?
Kita memang melihat kepentingan perlindungan wanita di sektor pertahanan dan keselamatan. Jadi kita dah merancang untuk tahun depan untuk mengadakan satu majlis khas bersama mereka untuk kita boleh mendapatkan input macam tampon juga, dan akan ada satu majlis untuk memberi pengiktirafan sebab we want to talk about success story. Now kita nak fokus so that they feel appreciated because dia punya sektor ni adalah sektor yang sangat orang kata unik kan, dominated by male. Jadi kita dah merancang akan mengadakan sesi itu pada tahun depan, dan kita dah mengadakan engagement di dekat kementerian. We have talked to Minda, we have talked to KDN, dan semua dah bagi support. Itu dalam rancangan untuk next year lah, mungkin dalam bulan 2.
Alright.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you everybody.